What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you. Welcome back to the channel. Hit that subscribe button as soon as you come into the building. Why Shaq is right in his criticism of the new generation. Guys, of course, it's all been over the news how Shaq is saying that this new generation, he's a lot better than. And guys, to be honest, I gotta agree with Shaq. A lot of these new school guys could not play in the old school. Y'all gotta understand the reason why I respect Shaq's take is because Shaq may have not have been the perfect conditioned player, but everybody remembers Hack-a-Shaq. And the way they were fouling Shaq would be a flagrant 2 ejection right now. So Shaq is absolutely right that a lot of these guys couldn't make it when he was playing or before he was playing. Shaq had to come in, and Shaq knew what was going to happen to his body every night. Shaq played more games than these guys are playing right now with the abuse that he took. And a lot of these new school players don't understand that longevity doesn't matter once the talent and the level of play decreases. I don't care that you played 20 plus years. If they lessen the physicality, of course you should play longer. But Shaq is right in the sense that this is why people are not watching the product. And the product is they're getting paid more money, but the physicality is going down. No different than with the NFL, right? When we see Emmitt Smith's record broken, nobody's impressed with it because you didn't go through what Emmitt Smith went through, what Walter Payton went through. You know, what some of these guys went through back in the day before there was a concussion protocol and all this kind of stuff. We remember watching Monday Night Football in the Jacked Up segment when it was celebrated with all of this stuff. So when Shaq is talking, guys, a lot of people don't get it. What he's saying is, don't compare eras. If you're going to say LeBron is the greatest, say he's the greatest of his era, because the physicality is down, the rules have changed, everybody's shooting threes, nobody's running plays anymore, you don't have a big man, you don't have an enforcer anymore. That's kind of what makes Draymond Green so different. And who's your boy for Houston? I forget his name, but he used to play for Memphis. Y'all know who I'm talking about. These enforcers used to be on every team. We remember Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley and those types of guys who were just out there to foul hard and be an enforcer, to let you know that you were going to have to play hard. Bill Laimbeer, all these guys, we remember that. So Shaq is absolutely right, and I agree. Nobody from an era where they've lessened the physicality and they've paid them more money, and now they got rest breaks. They don't have to play back-to-backs. They don't have to play, 75 plus games and that kind of thing. You shouldn't be considered a great over the people who played in that era. It's just that simple. Now, granted, a lot of these players today are just benefiting from social media, technology. They're everywhere all the time. But Shaq is right, guys. It's time to let these guys know he's right about Ben Simmons. Right? Ben Simmons should not be getting this kind of money. And that's the reason why the ratings are down in the NBA, is because even the average guy, the blue collar guy, still has to get up and go to work. Whether he's sick, whether he's injured, all this kind of stuff. They don't comprehend that a guy who makes more money than me gets to sit out. And all you hear these guys saying is that it's a business. Well, in business, for us regular people, we got to get up when we ain't feeling well. We got to go to work when we hurt. Got to go to work when we got the flu. Got to go to work because you got to make that money. You got to make that. You got to make that bread. Now, I get it. These guys are professional athletes. This is their profession. They're fine-tuned machines. But Shaq is right. If they don't have to put up with all of the challenges that the older generation had to put up with and score those points and become Defensive Player of the Year and become MVP and become All-Pro and become All-NBA, it's not the same. Shaq was a hell of a player. Most dominant big man most of us have ever seen in our lifetime. So don't come to him telling him that somebody's better than him. He's right. And it's time for the NBA to kick in and say, we're going to start delineating between eras so that everybody knows this person scored this many points, but here's when we change the rules. Here's when we allow superstars to not have to play back-to-backs. And all of a sudden start putting some asterisks beside some of these records that people are making, these triple doubles and that kind of thing. Because otherwise, guys, a lot of people are saying, I'm not impressed with what you're achieving, because if I lowered the standard and made it easier, those achievements don't mean much. Y'all get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. Is Jeff crazy or is Jeff on to something? If you hadn't already, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for notifications. And until next time, I'm going to holler.